Hi, I'm Layl McDill from claysquared.com, and I'm going to teach you how to make a really fun little roly-poly kitty sculpture from your silly millies and your kitty kit. So here is the kit that you'd get at claysquared.com, and you can pick out any silly millie to go with it. So like on this one, I'm going to choose a peacock. So I've got it, you've got your kit. The very first step that you want to do is open up your kit and gently remove the little eyeballs because you don't want those to get wrecked. And just sort of set those off to the side. Just like that. And this little black piece is for the nose and the mouth. And then this little piece is for the ears. Now I usually just kind of rip it open like that. Then you can get to the other parts and pieces. What you've got in here is a tinfoil form for the body and the little pieces that you're going to use for the legs, and then you've got the whiskers. So I'll set all that stuff aside. First step is to take your silly millie and slice it thinly. Now with this one you really want to slice fairly thin. I would think the thinness of a dime or thinner, because this guy's got a lot of space to cover, and we're going to take all these slices and put them all around. So what I usually do is slice up most of my Millefiori cane, my silly millie, and then I will go ahead and start placing them. But what I'll do is leave just a little bit, just in case. Now if you end up with some that are a little thicker, then you'll want to kind of squish those down. So I'll do a couple like that on purpose. Okay, so I ended up with a little piece like this that I'm just going to save just in case for later so that I can kind of plan my slices. Then I'm just going to take these slices and, whoops, lay them all around. So they're going to lay right next to each other, just like that. So you've got filling in all that space. It's okay if you don't fill in every little part, but you want to get as close as you can. You'll be able to squish around. So like if I set that right there and I leave that little bit of space right there, that's okay, because I'll probably be able to squish it into that space. If I can't get it squished into that space, then I could just cut off a little piece and fill it in. So it's kind of fun to see how these designs go together. It's, you know, you can kind of plan for maybe like putting the same ends together or making it more organized. I'm usually kind of random and just wait and see what it ends up as. But you'll just fill it in. That little part that I just filled in was for the head. Now the rest is the body and the tail. So just keep going. Now this one's a little bit thicker, so I'm going to squish it. See how I'm just pinching it with my fingers? And that can make it a lot bigger and it'll cover more space. So I might kind of look for a space that's good to fill with a bigger one like that. And sometimes you can even pull it a little bit and wrap it around, squish it in there and fill in the space. So I'm doing this fairly fast. When you do it, you might take your time a little more. And you can see I'm definitely going to need my other piece that I left. This cat cane this cat sculpture is a little bit more difficult just because it does have quite a bit of surface to cover, so you really have to make sure that you slice your silly millie really thin. And let's see here, I'll slice that up as thin as I can, see if I can make it all fit. This last one's kind of thick, so I'll squish it as big as I can. There we go. Lay it on there. And I'm going to just get it mostly filled in and not worry about the little spots because, like I said, they'll squish around. So I'm about to make it. A couple more little pieces. There we go. Now I definitely have some spots still showing. Don't forget, you probably have your extra slice that's up in the top part of your silly millie. So you could take that piece and even slice that in half sometimes so you can get a little extra. And that might help me out here just to get around that tail. And I'm pinching it so it squishes right around. Okay, so one more slice right there, and that's pretty good. I got a lot of little spots showing, but I'm going to use, well, you can use anything like a rolling pin that you want to. I really like Crayola markers for rolling pins. They work really good. You just kind of roll it over it. When you get to those spots where there's tinfoil showing, give it a little extra pinch here and there, and squish it around. And you'll find you can pretty much get it all hidden. And the goal is to get rid of all that tinfoil. Squish and squish till it all gets covered up. And sometimes, like the tail is a good spot where you could just kind of roll it in your hands like this. Now this guy's a little harder than sometimes other ones because he's kind of an odd shape. So it takes a while to smooth it out. And I'm going to probably stop even though it's not completely smooth just so I can show you the next step. I would keep working on that probably, getting all the tinfoil so it doesn't show. You can wiggle the tail however you want to. Sometimes that'll help you sort of hide some of those tinfoil spots too by giving it a little wiggle. And also keep in mind the arms and legs are going to be there too, so those could be spots that get covered by clay. So I'm getting pretty close. I'll just stop like that. And now I'm going to make the arms and legs. So I'm going to take these little pieces that I've got out of the packet and I'm going to warm those up in my hands till they get nice and soft, just by going like that. And then I'm going to roll it into a long worm. There's one. This one's pretty soft already. It just kind of depends. Some will be softer than others. There's 1, 2, 3 little. Now you might have 4 colors. It all depends on what's in the pack. It's kind of random. And you've got 3 worms. I'm going to layer them right on top of each other, kind of like a little triangle. And then do the twisting like this. And you can roll it a little bit to get it longer. And basically you're marbleizing. So you're twisting and folding. And squishing it together. And rolling it. Twist it a little bit, and you just keep doing that until you kind of like how swirly it is. I'll just go like that. So what you're going to do when you get it to the swirliness you like is you're going to form it into kind of a little rectangle like this. It doesn't matter exactly, but something like that. And you're going to cut it not exactly in half, okay? Because one part's going to be for those front legs and one part's going to be for the back legs, and they're a little bigger. So like that. Then I'm going to take each one of those and cut those in half. Okay? Now I have, these are for arms, and these are for the legs. These, to get to the arm shape, you're just going to pinch like that, and then pinch like this. So, kind of making it into a little triangle. A little flattened triangle. You can see it, once you cut it open and inside it's going to be totally different. So, 2 little pieces like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this, except these are going to be a little bit bigger. Like that. You know, you can be creative and form them however you want to. This is just the way that I like to make my legs. It's kind of a starting point for you. And as you're creating and sculpting, you can make things whatever shape you want to. Be creative. So, now to make the toes, what I like to use is just your card from your Silly Millie. It works really good. You just use a little corner and just poke it right in there. Sometimes it gets a little worn out, and then you'll want to turn it and poke it the other side. But I like to do 4 toes, so that'd be 3 little dents. Sometimes you can go like that and get it. And just cut those toes out on every foot. And you can do it like that again. Just depends on how stiff that cardboard is. I might have used this one already another time. So, 1, 2, 3. That way it looks pretty good too. So if you want to, you can kind of spread the toes out, or you can just sort of leave them like that. With cats, I pretty much just give them a little bit of a spread, because I don't really want them too pointy. Maybe a little spread, maybe a little pinching, but not a lot. Okay, ready to add. So 2 arms on the side. That's the smaller pieces. And 2 legs in the back. And look, I'm going to cover up that tinfoil right there. That works out perfect. And, you know, if I thought that foot was kind of big, I could make it a little smaller, but I kind of like making these big-footed cats. And then the other one, I just sort of bend them a little bit just to make them look a little more playful. And you can do it however you want to, make the pose. And with these guys, sometimes they lay like this, and sometimes like this. Anyway, or sometimes on their side. It just sort of depends on how they end up in shape or how they want to land. Okay, now to add the face. First off, we need the whiskers. So to do the whiskers, we're going to just put it right exactly kind of in the middle of the face. Press in lightly, and then get ready for your nose. Maybe we should have made the nose even before we put the whiskers on there, because the nose, you're going to use just a piece of this little black piece. And you can make it any size you want. I cut off that little piece, and then I'm going to pinch it and flatten it to make it triangular shaped. And then I'll add it right on there. And put it right over that little loop. So you see how that loop was there? So that'll kind of lodge it in there. Now it looks like it's got whiskers sticking out. And then to put on the eyes, that's when he comes to life. You put the eyes right above his nose, however you want. There he is. And now for his mouth, I'm going to take this piece, and you've got more than enough. All you need is the tiniest little bit. So just kind of roll it out till it's as thin as you want, and you can be creative with your little smile. You can use your little card, cut off 2 little pieces, and it's probably going to be hard to see because I've got kind of a dark color here, but you can lay them on there just like that, and a little smile. 2 little pieces, 1 on each side for a little cat smile. Now, just needs his ears. So that's really easy. You've got this little millefiori cane with that's formed into a triangle. All that needs to be is cut right in half. And then add those ears. It just takes a little bit of pressure. You don't have to squish it too much. It'll stick. And there he is. He's all done. Now you'll bake him at 275 for 30 minutes and let him cool. And then you've got your fun little roly-poly kitty. Be sure to check out claysquared.com for more kits. I'll be adding more all the time.